A long time since I've done a live, and so I'm coming on. I am Christy Little, for those of you who may not know me too well, and it's definitely time for a reintroduction, even for those who feel like they do know me. A lot has changed in just the last few years for me in so many ways, inside and outside, and I just thought I would take a little time and share some of those things. So just in the last handful of years, I've just been on a really deep personal growth journey, actually a little bit longer than that. Maybe about 7 years ago it started. And first of all, it started when I just knew it was time to really look at some of the behaviors that were not serving me. I was very, very anxious at that time. I had been since I was a kid, having multiple panic attacks a day, frequently throughout each week for a long time. And it was pretty debilitating, and it was starting to affect my health. There were other things going on in my life, my personal life, in my marriage, and everything just seemed to be starting to crumble around me. And something in me knew that I had the ability and the strength to make changes in my life. And so I started investigating what that looked like. I started meditating, which was not easy in the beginning. I could maybe stay focused on anybody's guided meditation for about 10 to 15 seconds before I would go off. So for anybody who thinks they can't meditate, it's a practice. It's just like anything else. When we've lived in a racing mind for decades, it's not just going to immediately be able to focus for an hour meditation. So anyway, meditation literally saved me. And just this whole perspective of presence and introspectiveness, if that's a word, it is for this moment, on myself, on what were the things I was holding on to that were, I was allowing to dictate how I acted, how I showed up, what I went for, what I didn't go for. What are the things that have happened in my past that I was recycling like a merry-go-round in my mind over and over and over again, and just reliving that pain over and over and over again. All of those things, all of those parts of me, I was just ready to address. I was ready to get off the merry-go-round. I was ready to live with more peace and presence. I was ready to heal from things that people had put on me, or beliefs, ideas of who I was. I was ready to really investigate who I really was, not who other people told me I was. So this has taken a deep, long journey for years, peeling back layers of, like an onion, like I like to say, exposing more and more of, what I was just ready to let go of. So there's been a lot of change along with this journey, and not only did I have a complete career change out of entertainment a few years ago, then I was really left to explore even deeper parts of myself. So I've explored entrepreneurship and different partnerships. I've explored retreat management. I've explored coaching. I've explored art licensing and just what the art world looks like for me. And each one of those things has been, breadcrumbs along my path of this experience. And I'm realizing now the culmination of all of those experiences, even my experience in entertainment, and my ability to speak and be on stage or present myself in front of people. There are aspects of everything that I have explored that are now merging together in this beautiful, entity, business, brand that's starting to evolve in the background right now that I'm just so excited about. And I'm embracing now that all of those, I've had to have all of those experiences, whether they were good, bad, or indifferent, they all have served a purpose. Everything that I can see that I've lived through is meant to bring me here. Even the stuff that I've had to heal from and release or unlearn, all of it is a culmination of value that now I feel like I have to bring at a greater capacity. Because I took that time, because I had those experiences, I'm able to start to evolve into actually what I'm supposed to be doing here. What's the vision? What's the mission? What's the thing or things that like make me so excited to show up and to serve in ways that I wouldn't have even felt worthy to do even a couple of years ago. So just some really exciting things, and I've been in a pretty deep cocooning phase, sorting through all of this, and now that time is over, and now it's time for me to be more vocal about this journey and these steps towards this evolution. So one of the biggest things that I have found recently is for me to really begin embracing being a free spirit. And that's kind of like, sometimes can be like a taboo kind of label on people, right? And for me, there's been aspects of being a free spirit for most of my adult life that I've actually felt apologetic for. And some things that I've dimmed, and also some things that I have felt guilty that feels natural, because I never want to feel like a burden to other people. And that's another thing I've been healing through is, I don't want other people to be negatively affected by my free-spiritedness. And so to kind of conform or to be more accepted and liked, there were a lot of aspects of me and my free-spiritedness that I kind of dimmed down. And I'm seeing now that by embracing that free spirit, that's allowing me to step into this greater vision and realize what I'm actually meant to be talking about and what I'm actually meant to be doing here and serving. And a part of that is through my art, and part of that is through the energy that I can emit into something physical like art and express myself and share in that way. And another aspect is, totally. It's, I feel that way too. Free spirit equals being creative, for sure. The freer I'm allowing myself to be, I can feel the difference in my art. I can see the difference in what's coming out, because I'm not giving it a label. I'm not saying it has to be a certain way. And that's how my art's changed from, 10 years ago being very academic, looking and feeling, to much more free-flowing, a much more spontaneous and intuitive. So, and I do think that we all are creative. I know that some people will say that they don't feel that way, but I do feel like, just like aspects of being a free spirit, we all have those things when we're young, when we're babies or toddlers, or, very young into our school years. And the way the world is built right now and the way society is, it really squashes a lot of that. And it makes us conform in a lot of ways of, there is a way of being, there is a way to learn, there is a way to act, and it doesn't cater to being free with emotions and creativity and exploration and spontaneity. So one of the things that I'm really excited about is working on ways to reawaken those aspects of us, reawaken that creativity. No one had to tell us how to play when we were kids. No one had to tell us how to have fun. We knew how to do that. And I know for me in my adult life, fun for many years just was completely out of the equation. It was about work. It was about, climbing ladders. It was about accolades. It was about recognition and success, whatever that looks like. And, I didn't have time for fun was actually words that would come out of my mouth. So now I'm in a different energy, and I am so ready to help other people remember that spark, remember that creativity, remember that free aspect of us that we had as kids. And I do believe no matter what our life looks like, we can find a way to reconnect with that's our natural state of being. It is, before anybody drilled other things into us. Fun and play and being creative and having an imagination, that's a natural state of being. Like I said, we didn't have to be taught that as kids. So how can we as adults in our adult life, no matter what responsibilities and what life looks like, how can we add some of that back into our life? How can we go back to being more free? We all can have play. We all can have creativity. We all can have spontaneity in some way, even if it's small. And that's what all of this journey that I've been going through in the last several years, and particularly in the last few months of really deep cleansing to a whole new level. I'm seeing the need in the world for us to be able to find that part of us again. And so with that, it birthed this water series that I just released, and it's been such a cleansing period. It's very serendipitous that I don't think it's a coincidence that this water series was inspired at this time for me to create, because it's just really coincided with what I've been going through. Because water is so many things. As a Pisces, I've always been drawn to water, but now lately I've been really reflecting on the element of water and all its characteristics and how I can add that into my life as like going with the flow. I know when I start to move in a direction that feels like I'm fighting against a current, I make everything harder for myself. So how can, no matter what is going on, how can I go more in the flow with life? That's peaceful, it's serenity. How can I have more of that in my day-to-day? It can be playful. I have a whole bubble part of this series. So how can I be playful in my day? And then sometimes it can be dark and stormy like this one. It can be super powerful. So how can I have that strength in my day-to-day, in my maybe holding boundaries, in the way I can show up for the world, in addition to being flowing and peaceful and playful. Like all of these aspects are parts of us and characteristics of us, and how can I embody the example that the element of water gives us? So I've just been so inspired to be in this mode, creating this series during this time. So I'll leave it at that. That was a long reintroduction, but there's just been so much I've wanted to say, and it just wasn't quite time yet. It was really that delicate balance of being in my own cocoon in order to really evolve this vision, this spark, this excitement into an actual direction to tell people about. So moving forward, there is always going to be art that's a part of my life that I'm sharing, but I'm also excited to start a little later this year, start creating experiences for people to come together, for people to start to remember those free parts of ourselves, start to have that play, have those moments of presence that we can start implementing maybe in our day-to-day that maybe we're not very present in our day-to-day right now. And just creating experiences where people can come together in an elevated way, raise their energy, maybe let go of stuff that's not serving them anymore, and just recharge. And I will have an experience that also there's custom art created for the people who attend those events to have as an elevated tool to hold that new energy that they felt during that event. So that's coming soon, in a few months down the pipeline. It's in the works, and I'm just super excited to just start to create containers and spaces in this way. So that's it for today. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and thanks for hanging with me.